pierced, right, and was covered in tattoos. And I thought they're all trying to be like each other. The young girl, while way more valuable than the older woman, looks to the older woman for clues, for cues, for concepts, for ideas about what it is to be a successful older woman. When in truth, that successful older woman isn't all that successful. She's not all that valuable. The young girl, if she was intelligent, would have turned around and asked me, what is it that you want as a man? What do you want to see from me so that I am more valuable to you as an older man, because older men are successful? See, that's the trick, is these young girls are told, oh, they're free, they're equal to men, they can do what they want. But then they spend the rest of their lives trying to satisfy themselves and impress upon men that they're worth having. And so they do the exact opposite, right? Reality and logic is turned on its head in a woman's world. It is amazing to watch, to view this, right? If that girl who was asking her friend about body jewelry or body art and body piercings understood, right, she would find a man that she finds acceptable, right, to whatever it is she wants, and then seek to satisfy him, right? So the game is completely lost. And it was lost before she got to high school, I understand that. But her last opportunity was in high school to realize who she's going to be in life. What is going to happen with her life. Because they're told, they're lied to, that they can be successful. And if that were the case, we would see vast percentages, high percentages of women that are successful and happy and pleased and fulfilled. Right now. But they don't do that. It's not how it works. They look to older women for advice. These older women are fucking up and they give them bad advice and these girls follow it. They're complete morons. So once again, the logical woman, right, if there was a logical woman, would be turning to a man because they want men. You see, if they didn't need men, right, why? Why do they do what they do? Instead, they do everything they can to attract us. They attach shit to their bodies, they tattoo themselves up, they dress like whores, they make up themselves up. They claim it's for themselves, but it's really because they know and they find out at some point they need to impress a man. But by the time they get to that experience level, by the time they get to that realization level, it's too fucking late. They've destroyed themselves. See, men get better with age. It's not to say that young men aren't good, young men aren't capable, young men can't work hard, or young men aren't intelligent. It just has to do with how life works. You start here and you end here. So if you start here and end up here, how did you fucking get there? You have to work at it. Women, it's the complete opposite. They start high. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right? That's their value. And they finish here. And they travel down as they get there. They get more experience along the way, but they're already in a downward slide. And they don't even know it. Now, I started off by talking about philosophy and logic, reason, understanding nature, taking our cues from nature. Yes, sir. That is what I'm talking about, is nature is right. Truths are truths no matter what people think of them. It is only whether or not we recognize a truth that makes us right. You women are very upset. They're emotional creatures. They're illogical creatures. They deny reality. They deny truth. They absolutely dismiss philosophy out of hand. And I'll ask this. How many times have you sat down with a woman and discussed philosophy? Or a philosopher and what he taught? Well, they don't. They discuss Oprah Winfrey. They discuss what they read in a beauty magazine. They discuss some show on television where 10 women try and trick a millionaire into marrying them. That's what they're really interested in. They're not interested in understanding reality, facing reality, dealing with reality. To face, understand, and deal with reality, you have to know facts. You have to know truths. You have to be willing to learn and willing to accept. So the juxtaposition between the old woman and the young woman is incredible. Absolutely incredible. The young woman has the greatest advantage at that time. And she squanders it. And then she follows a path to destruction. Right? A young woman, age 17, 18, 19, 20, has heard that getting on the cock carousel, though they don't call it that, is the way to go. They need to have sex with as many men as possible before they get married. If they even need to get married, they think. What does that do? It ruins them. They don't know how to please any one man. Right? They don't know how to please, and they're not willing to please any man. It's about pleasuring themselves. It sets the mindset, and it starts the degradation of that woman at her peak, her prime value to a man, straight downhill. If women were intelligent, they'd go back to the old system of life, right? Traditional stuff, and we're talking hundreds of years ago, when women knew where they needed to be and were willing to go there. Right? Their education consisted of being raised to perform a particular role, to provide a particular service. In exchange for that, they could be cared for by a man. Now, prostitutes, right, became prostitutes. They knew how to pleasure a man in a certain way and give those men what they wanted. A housewife was something completely different. But the difference between the two is it's light years. Today, women want to be self-benefiting prostitutes. And they think that that's going to buy them or give them the happiness they want. See, they fail constantly. Constantly they fail in satisfying themselves. And who do they blame? Themselves? No, they blame the patriarchy. They blame men, right? They start to say men have used them. Well, they held themselves out to be used. They held themselves out to be fucked and dumped. That's what they've done. And so they're surprised when it happens. They think that they are the ones who have value at age 20. And at age 25, they think they've got a greater value. They get to age 30 and they think they've got an even greater value. They get to age 40 and they think they're fucking rock stars. When in truth, they're the exact opposite. It is stunning to me. Stunning that they have that mentality. Absolutely stunning. It floors me, in other words. Where do they get off thinking that? I go to the water park. I could have, had I chosen, taken home any number of women from age 20 to age 40. How hard would it be, in all truth, really? Right? How hard is it? You and I know it's not hard. Right? But what do you want at that point, right? What do they want? Those are the questions we ask. What do women want? They want all the power and all the benefit and all the perks. That's what they want. Young women really don't know what they want. They're getting there. They have an idea. They've seen a lot of examples. They're destined to go down a certain path. But it was ridiculous to see these older women turning their nose up at me relative to the general interest by younger women. There was one particular broad, I think she was half Mexican, half white, had an enormous set of knockers, right? And I turned and noticed them, and then she noticed me, and I laughed, and she smiled, and I said, you know, and she went, yeah, I do. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's the game that's being played. Right? But there's no reason she should have talked to me if I was of little value. If I was of no value. Maybe that young girl understood, right, that men get better with age, that we create and gain in value. You know, maybe she did, who knows? But young women, they don't know for sure. They only know what they've been taught. Just the difference between the two, the mentality of young women versus old women. You would think that older women would be on their fucking knees begging men to come to them. Begging men to accept them. Begging men to take them into their homes. And you're saying, wait a minute, John, maybe they were married. Maybe that's why they were ignoring you. Oh, well, the married ones were looking. It was the divorced ones. No ring on that finger. They were the ones with their fucking noses up. Why? I had to ask myself. I had to examine the thinking of women. They believe they're more